Welcome to another episode of Best of America by Horseback. I'm your host, Dale Shields, along with my wife, Siobhan. We're here at the Hughes family working cattle ranch near Bartlesville, Oklahoma. What a beautiful place this is. Siobhan, tell them a little bit about the ranch.
Oh, the ranch is, like you said, beautiful. The cliffs, the valleys, you couldn't ask for anything better.
No, it's a wonderful place to be. We're loving riding the trails here. The folks who came to ride with us this weekend came from all over, not expecting Oklahoma to look like this. But this is truly a great place to ride, and we're here by invitation from the Hughes family, kind of an exclusive opportunity. Thankful to be here, happy to share this show with you on Best of America by Horseback. Sit back and watch. Welcome back to another episode of Best of America by Horseback. I'm your host, Dale Shields. On this episode, we've taken our riders back to the Hughes Ranch near Bartlesville, Oklahoma on a return visit. We were graciously invited to come to this ranch originally by Robert and Mandie Hughes to explore their 13,000-acre working cattle ranch. Our riders enjoyed it so much last year that they requested we return if possible. Robert and Mandie Hughes graciously opened their arms to that proposal. The beauty of this ranch never ends. Our riders were intrigued seeing the landscapes and vistas of this location. Sit back and let us share our adventures with you at the Hughes Ranch just outside of Bartlesville, Oklahoma. It was a real joy being back in the saddle and being able to ride across these beautiful landscapes of northern Oklahoma. The landscape of the Hughes Ranch continues to awe us as we go from one vista to another. The scenery always changing, the beauty never ending. Our days began in the crisp, cool morning of the October air, under beautiful sunrises. As the morning was waking up, so were our riders. The horses were even getting anxious as well. With great anticipation of a day's ride, the air filled up with the enticing smell of breakfast. Some of our first-time riders, Alan and Amy Huff, Sheila Kirschman, and Freddie Miller, invited everyone to breakfast, and boy was it good. It sure did hit the spot, and everyone was ready for a good day's ride. As it was in many parts of the country, the rains were few and far between at the Hughes Ranch. In turn, the grasses were shorter than usual, but still stunning to ride through and appreciate. As you can see, the watering holes were somewhat low for the livestock here on the ranch. However, before Siobhan got busy filming, she found time to test her skills with her rod and reel. As fisherman's luck would have it, she did well. Or at least that was her story. I'm not too sure that's not the same fish. You judge for yourself. Either way, the smiles were worth it. With breakfast now behind us, and with Siobhan trading in her rod and reel for her camera, Rory and Randy led us out into some beautiful country with some wonderful filming opportunities. Our first day's ride was about 2 hours long. Randy and Rory led us around the canyon rim and showed us the perimeter of the area that we were riding in. Late in the afternoon, we headed back to camp to get settled in for more activities.
Did you have fun?
Had a great time.
Good.
Here, it was perfect.
When we come back, we have some pies to judge. Stay with us and watch. This week on Best of America by Horseback, we're at the Hughes Ranch near Bartlesville, Oklahoma. A 13,000-acre working cattle ranch owned by Robert and Mandie Hughes. This is now the second opportunity Best of America by Horseback has had the good fortune of riding on the Hughes Ranch. It has been a true honor for us to get to know Robert and Mandie Hughes and get to learn of their land and cattle management skills. Literally thousands of head of cattle pass through this ranch annually, grazing upon the lush grasslands of northern Oklahoma. Robert is third-generation rancher on this land, following in the steps of his father and grandfather, and carrying on the traits that they have instilled in him. The Hughes are great conservationists and land managers, and it is a true honor to get to see the work that they do in this part of the country. It's great to be back at the Hughes Ranch. You guys came last year when we had our ride, which was across Highway 23 on the other side of the ranch. And so what's it like to be back this year and get to ride a different part of the ranch?
Well, we found it very enjoyable. I like history, and certainly there's a lot of Western history in the northeastern part of Oklahoma where the Hughes Ranch is located, and from Indians to oilmen and cowboys, and so it's something we really enjoy. And both Janice and I have horses have been a part of our lives for a number of years, so it's an opportunity for us to just ride together. And with the Best of America by Horseback, we've really enjoyed the opportunities that we've been able to take part of. Riding on the Hughes Ranch is something that, as far as I know, individuals can't just go out there and do. So you have to have an access, and Best of America by Horseback has given us that access. Being around Robert Hughes was an interesting part of the ride, as he talked about a little bit about the history of the ranch and the size of it, and the cattle that they condition, and oil that they have there, and you know, Phillips Petroleum is headquartered nearby in Bartlesville.
Right.
And so oil is a big part of that region, but then there are also Indian reservations in that area, and all of it's just a rich part of the Western heritage. And the opportunity for Janice and I to ride around there and bring our horses out there and enjoy wide open spaces is something you just can't put a price on.
We did some shopping, and then we went antiquing, and we had a good time just in that whole area. It was a lot of fun.
I raise my eyes into the hills, His glory fills my soul. I set this horse upon my course, His purpose is my goal. October breeze upon my face, the sun gives warm caress. There's only peace in this wonderland, my heart is free of stress. Tall grasses dance as stirrup high they brush against my boot. They beckon me to stay with them and sink down here my root. An eagle screams from overhead, his shadow touches me. He seems to say, yes, you can stay, for out here life is free. My pony snorts as fawns appear. They stare back at each other. But comfort comes as flittering tails communicate with mother. The canyon rim has seen it all. The years have come and gone. Her colors change as seasons pass, and light from dusk till dawn. Now here I stand, the flesh of man, surrounded by creation. Have other men passed this way too, and felt this grand sensation? Lord, help me ride this trail today, yet break not one small reed. Help me honor what you have made, out here where the wild horses feed. I raise my eyes, I lift my hands, I humble my graveled voice. My grateful heart beats in my chest as you let me live my choice. After returning back to camp, it was time for our Best of America by Horseback Pie Judging Contest. This is always a lot of fun, and folks sure do enjoy it. Our trail guides, Rory and Randy, were very happy to help us judge in this all-important contest. While each of them was very delicious, there could only be one winner. And the winner of the Hughes Ranch Best of America by Horseback Pie Contest was Elizabeth Williams. Once the judging was done and the scores were tallied and the presentation of the Best of America by Horseback apron had been presented, there was plenty of help for cleanup.
Don't go away. We are at the Hughes Ranch in Oklahoma, and we are going to bring you some more excitement right after this.
Welcome back to another episode of Best of America by Horseback. I'm your host, Dale Shields. We're at the Hughes Ranch near Bartlesville, Oklahoma, a beautiful working cattle ranch owned by Robert and Mandie Hughes. On this portion of the show, we're going to get to visit with Caleb Thompson and Tony Rainwater from the Oklahoma Youth Hunting Program. Listen to Robert Hughes talk about the history of the ranch and visit more with Hugh and Janice Elrod about their experience at the Hughes Ranch. What we do would be far more difficult without the great staff that we have behind the scenes. Gary Bass has been a great tribute to us, and much of the footage you see is due to him.
We just want to take a few minutes and say thank you for you guys being so hospitable to us.
You bet, you bet. It's an honor to have you back. The Best of America by Horseback. Keeping our Western heritage alive is so important, and you guys are the ones doing all the work, and this is easy for us. We really enjoy you. I can't believe you came back, and we're so excited. It was a real compliment to us, and you're always welcome in our camp. I want you to know that.
Thank you.
You bet. You bet.
We got a little something we'd like to present to you.
You don't have to do that. Oh my goodness.
Thank you. So,
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Gee whiz, look at this.
cutting board with their brand.
That is all there too. That thing weighs 20 pounds. Thank you so much, Dale. You didn't have to do that. Yeah, I'm just so tickled y'all came back. We lucked into Terrence Malick movie years ago, and then they have another movie that hadn't been released, and got to know Jack Fisk, who's the art guy on the big.
Sissy Spacek's husband.
He's Sissy Spacek's husband, and John Patterson, some good scouts, and we've landed a few deals, and it's kind of fun, and it's good extra income, and because there's no oil in the ground or gold in the mine here, we do it with our grass, and that's our resource, and we try to get. Mother Nature's trying us this year, but it'll all even out. She's been good to us, and it's nobody's fault. But hopefully we'll get some rain, and we've still got some forage. But usually the blue stem turkey tracks up this high, and you saw it last year.
Absolutely, yep.
But that's just how it goes. my granddad was born in '89, Arthur M. Hughes, one of 10 kids, and his dad was displaced from the Civil War, and he never got over it. They lost their plantation, and all the kids were kind of on their own, and Uncle Sam went to New Mexico, and that ranch is still there. As a surveyor's helper at 14, and they gave you a section of land out there instead of 160. Nobody can make a living on it in the Guadalupe Mountains.
Yeah.
And so Papa was hauling coal oil and axle grease, but team and wagon to the XIT ranch and early oil business before gasoline. And he started with Pierce Waters Oil Company out of Fort Worth. He was in West Texas. He opened the first gasoline station in Amarillo, Texas.
Oh, wow.
8th grade education. Frank, he had a crew, and Frank Phillips moved him up here in 29. They bought this place, the original 3,800 acres. We're on the bad side of Osage County. But we've made it better, and Dad figured out how to control brush, and he taught me how to keep it out of there, and it's a great resource if you take care of it. But long story short, Papaw never borrowed him money, and he had a good job with Phillips, but he was cash on the barrelhead, and during the Depression in 1938, the Union Bank, where our office down here, everybody lost their ranches, and a guy named Guy Burton had the original 3,800 acres, and all you had to do, this is how bad things were in the Depression, is pay up the taxes, and the taxes were $6.
Oh my God.
And to tell you the mentality, the banker who had the ranch tried to talk, he said, Arthur, why would you want that pile of brush and rocks?
During our stay at the ranch, the Hughes had also opened up their land to the Oklahoma Youth Hunting Program. We were honored to get to visit with Caleb Thompson and Tony Rainwater about the program.
This camp has been a lot of fun. We have been shown how to work rifles and air pistols safely, using the safety and keeping the muzzle in a safe direction and always being safe throughout our hunting here.
And what's it mean to you to have this organization spend the time, the money, the energy to do what they're doing for young men like yourself?
It means a lot to me. I really appreciate them doing this for me because I wouldn't have this opportunity, never would have hunted, probably wouldn't get to shoot rifles, so I really, really appreciate what they're doing here. They've been very, very helpful and informative, so I really appreciate all of them.
We're with the Oklahoma Youth Hunting Program. It's on this weekend in Oklahoma. We've got 65 kids out doing these hunts all across the state. I think we're on 8 different ranches across the state. We've probably got 180 volunteers supporting those efforts for those 65 kids and their parents.
Talk a little bit about what the Hughes family does in sponsoring this hunt.
The Robert Hughes family, they're fabulous. Mandie's fabulous. They give us access to the entire ranch. They help us set up everything, help us set up the blinds and the feeders. He's so generous to let us come out here and free reign of the ranch. We get to come out and do scouting trips and all kinds of stuff, and it's a glorious place to be out. So we're just lucky to have a great guy like Mr. Hughes to allow us to do it.
Why spend your time and your energies to do this?
I've got 2 boys myself, they're 25 and 21, and that's the best time in the woods for me, is going out and spending that time with them and teaching them what I know and see them experience the outdoors. And actually one of them's here volunteering this weekend. And so when they both got in college, there was kind of a void, and I just thought this would be a fun opportunity to get out and see things happen again. And actually one of the boys last night killed a deer with my gun that both my boys killed their first deer with, so it was a lot of fun.
Thank you for joining us on another episode of Best of America by Horseback. It's been a real joy being here at the Hughes Family Ranch near Bartlesville, Oklahoma. A place you wouldn't expect to see these kinds of vistas, canyons, but what a beautiful place this is. Siobhan, what was your favorite part of the weekend?
My favorite part was Saturday night, listening to Robert and Mandie talk about their family history and the ranch itself.
Yeah, wonderful to hear about the history, to learn about this place. We'd love to have you come and join us on one of our events. You can do so by calling us at 620-433-1819. Check out our website at www.bestofamericabyhorseback.com. Also keep up with us on our Facebook page, and you can watch past episodes on our YouTube channel. We'd love to have you come and join us at one of our rides. Until then, always ride the high trail.